Bonjour from Bordeaux. I'm Rachel Dickinson, and I have the pleasure to be here at Château Smith Haut Lafitte in Pessac-Léognan with Florence Cathiard, owner of the winery. Thank you so much for welcoming me here today here at your chateau.
It's a pleasure. I am very pleased to see you because we like when younger generation come and ask questions for us. It's very, very pleasant.
Thank you. Well, I'm curious to know what inspired you and your husband Danielle to purchase Château Smith Haut Lafitte in 1990.
Oh, it's a long story. To make it short, we had a first life together, but only doing little hello because we were both in the French national ski team. But I must have been 15, he must have been 18, and we grew up together in the team. We were the only students, so we had the same problems because no ski school at the time. And also the coaches were very strict. They had to check us in bed at 9 p.m. and then we were up at early in the morning because we had to sharpen the edges of our ski ourselves before going into slalom, and I was doing also the downhill. And Jean-Claude Killy, the 3 Olympic champion, had a prescience of French paradox, and he told that they were stupid, we were 3 girls like me, not too strong, and that we had to drink a glass of red Bordeaux left bank Cabernet Sauvignon because it was the most digestive varietal to drink on the eve of a race. And so we did this, and we slept like stones instead of making Obtracken all night.
You make beautiful wines, both red and white. What is your process for winemaking here at Château Smith Haut Lafitte?
Because we came here after a business life, because we did not inherit this chateau, and after asking for not a bourgeois wedding list, but just good bottle of red Bordeaux left bank, we decided when after 20 years of very hard work in business, we decided to be together in a small business in near of Mother Nature, and we were totally seduced by it was derelict where we are here. We had big holes in the roof, no floor, the 3 chimneys had been stolen, and the foreign banker who was against us for buying Smith Haut Lafitte, he wanted to erase it and make a glass pyramid because it was the time when Pey in Paris erected the glass pyramid of the Louvre. And so we fell in love with Smith Haut Lafitte because of the terroir and because it was a meadow of vines surrounded already by forest, and we managed to buy more and more forest, and now we have 11 hectares of white and 70 of red and 80 hectares of forest around. So that's good because we are very near the city.
Yes, it's certainly a dreamy property. I am in heaven here. It's just ethereal and beautiful. And I'm just curious to know what makes your wines stand out from others in Bordeaux, as there's many wineries to visit.
Yes, but now we are part of the, I should say maybe you can hold on less than 1 hand fingers for the white. We have a great reputation because our white are Smith Haut Lafitte white has singularity. You like or you don't, but it's for life. So watch. And it's 90% Sauvignon white, but all vines with a paradoxical exposure. It's on the north slope with a very slow ripening, and we pick like we make 40 lots on less than 11 hectares.
Wow.
So it's like picking almost berry after berry, you know. And we have 90% Sauvignon White, 5% Semillon, and 5% my husband's secret weapon, Sauvignon Gris, 30 years old. So and a special terroir.
Yes.
Well, so that's the white. With the red, we are now among the 15 to 20 best of the left bank. If I take a general mapping of all ratings, you know. And for sure, it's more difficult.
Yes.
Because we like to be on the podium.
Yes.
But with the first growth, you know, we have like a crystal ceiling above our head, and I respect this because I think they participate, the first growth, to the glory of Bordeaux.
Yes.
So with Smith Haut Lafitte, we are with all it's called the seconds or super seconds, and we try harder.
Yes.
And it's good. We like competition, of course. And our red has this special flinty notes that we like, because we have plenty of flint stones. And even if the old teacher in geology if he tells my husband, well, your wife is, my husband says, the little Flintstones are not waking up at night to rub their shoulders together. And he says, no, your wife is right, because you can have little electric bows inside under the feet, you know, inside the earth. And you have this special, slightly smoky nose, but very light. Does not come from the barrel, even if we have our own cooperage.
Yes.
And we are only 3 chateaux to have this now. We are proud of this. But our red is still on its way after 34 years to have this. Maybe sometimes it's a little too perfect, because perfection is boring.
Yeah.
So I tell this my head winemaker, but he says, well, Florence, we are not here for just fashionables or waking up the buds of the testers, of the pro testers in a too original way. We are here to make the best and express the genius of the terroir.
Yes.
And he's right.
Yes. When I did the tour earlier today, I was very impressed by Jan making the barrels by hand.
Yes.
And can you tell us a bit more about that?
This is an idea of my husband. If he could integrate the cork, you know, from the barks of the oak, he would do this. He wants to master the wool operation.
Yes.
And he's an adept of very low yields, which I don't like so much, because I should like more first wine. But when you are 100% organic, and then he wants to reach perfection, and when you master your own toastings, that's one way of doing it, because the fruit will outpass the wood all the time with us.
You have quite a spectacular cave.
Yes.
And can you tell us a bit more about that as well?
That's because we are very respectful of all the famous owners who have been in Smith Haut Lafitte since the 14th century. And we just want, in a way, to have our own building special. And that's why we dig under the floor. And I try to translate what wrote a famous French philosopher writer who has now become a friend. He wrote, "Here only at Smith Haut Lafitte you go down to paradise. Here only the skies are in the glass." I like it.
Beautiful. Yes. And you have a winery in Napa Valley as well.
Yes.
Cathiard Vineyard.
Yes.
What inspired you to purchase that winery in 2020?
Un coup de folie. How can I translate this? Craziness. Because we, out of the blue, a guy who used to sell Smith Haut Lafitte in the 90s, when we came here, he called us and he says, or if you want a diamond-shaped vineyard, as beautiful, maybe more than Smith Haut Lafitte, with a great terroir, not managed as you think it should be, you have to come. And we came, we saw in this Rutherford, going to near of St. Helena, going to the high part of Mayacamas, with all the plots of Cabernet and of the same varietal as we have here in Smith Haut Lafitte. And we had a coup de cœur, and we bought too high, too fast. That, as we say in France, you forget the price and quality stays. At least we hope it will be this way, because after 5 years we are very proud of our wines. We make what we could call a cab with only that would be less than 800 cases.
Okay.
And it's up in the Mayacamas.
Beautiful.
A parcel which is called Up and Down. And then we have 2 Bordeaux blends. We have the founding brothers, and they have a very good head.
Yes.
And they were from Scotland, like George Smith by Smith Haut Lafitte.
Yeah.
And also they were builders, so they built a beautiful stone winery that we have restored, and they stay there in the 19th century. So I put all the furniture, I sent them from France and from England with the furniture they could have made, the founding brothers, they could have lived in. And then this is the younger vines, also without arrogance, a Bordeaux blend. And we have sent this 4 sculpture representing the season, and this one is the sculpture of autumn. And she is perfect for the younger vine, not so young, because 20 years in Napa is already old.
Yes.
But here in Bordeaux it's young.
When I get home, I'll be booking my tasting appointment at Cathiard Vineyard.
Of course.
Yes.
We choose this name because there is a rhythm, Cathiard Vineyard,
Yes.
and also it's the same number of letter. And when you have a great vineyard, you are bound to have a great wine.
Yes.
Otherwise, you don't make wine.
Yes. And being an owner of wineries in both France and California, what do you find to be the strengths and weaknesses of each place?
It's pretty different because, for instance, it's much easier in California to get certified in 100% biological agriculture because you don't have this awful enemy that we have in Bordeaux, which is mildew. Mildew does not impair quality, but it dries the little berry. With us only of Merlot, because fortunately now with the biodynamic that we have been practicing for 8 years, the Cabernet and the white are strong, have strengthened their own resistance against mildew. And so we have over problem, but light ones, I should say. And will be certified in 24, which is great because we bought in January 2020. So that's a good point. Another good point is that you have more freedom for the wine. You can add some part of the younger crop if you want in the juice of 1 year old crop. You have more freedom. But we don't use this so much because we are so used to Bordeaux that we don't want to buy grapes, which is allowed in California, and we want a wine with a sense of place. Maybe we'll be right, maybe we'll be wrong, we'll see. But we have very good ratings already, so we keep this way. And what is worse in California, much worse, is the red tape, the permits, the authorization. It's a perfect nightmare. I thought we could get help for instance, for burying the poles, because a lot of problems comes from PG&E and the wood poles and the accident of climate, you know. And in fact, in France, they help you when you bury the poles. Not at all. It's very long and very, very expensive to do the same thing in California, in Napa especially, to make a cooperage. We want to master our own toasting, and I think we'll manage, but it has been taken already 4 years and a half.
Yes.
With engineer. I was ecstatic because we had the use permit, so I thought we had one at last, and in fact no, now we need a second permit, the building permit. Well, okay, and it's all the time like this, and the county is so busy, cannot see us when we come, so that's sad. Because we say we want to tell them what's the problem, what can we do to accelerate, because we are old and we are full of good ideas and the desire of doing things at the best. But no, so that's hard. That's really hard. Otherwise, people are nice, nicer than in Bordeaux. When we came in Bordeaux, we were welcome with a lot of snobbishness.
Yes, this is my first time visiting Bordeaux, and it's really a treat to be here.
Now people are very nice.
Yes, they're very nice.
Totally changed in one generation.
And I've been in awe of how beautiful the city is and the countryside. And someone let me know the nickname for Bordeaux is the Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
And it truly is. And
I love the younger generation because they are not stuck in the same barrel. They travel all around the world. And even in difficult times like now, because with all the elections problem in your country, in our country, and with the climatology, which is difficult, we will survive.
Yes. You have accomplished so much in your life, from being a ski champion, you and your husband.
Long time ago, more than half a century ago.
But what has been one of the most memorable moments in your current experience as a winery owner, or just wine in general?
First, we had lots of problems because when we came 4 months after we bought, that was the night of 21st April 1991, you don't forget this. I was crying in the morning in my vineyard because we were frozen like the whole Bordeaux at 90%.
Wow.
So, and then 1992 it was raining all the time, poor crop. 1993 I told my husband we are broke, and he says no, we learned the job. My husband always see the glass half full, when sometimes I see it half empty, depends. And then it was slightly better in 94, and 1995 great white, great red, and it was difficult in Napa, same story, but faster, because our 2020 is excellent, and we got great ratings. We were elected among the 6 best of 2020 by WineSpec with Founding Brothers, and we had 97 by James Suckling for this one, which is great for 2020. And in 21 we had 299 already, so it's faster. But still, the anxiety was at its peak when we bought with just before COVID, you know. It was complicated. But we managed to go there. We were declared national interest exception because we were putting a lot of money to renovate the estate, which is beautiful. Now we are straddled between 2 lines, Zinfandel and Inglewood, and it's a large estate, very beautiful. You have to visit.
Yes.
And it's our niece, so it's
Oh.
family over there. And she is half French, half American.
Oh.
Trilingual, very charming, and she likes to. She has already 155 members
Oh, wow.
for buying the estate, the great wines of the estate. No, she's having a big success. Fortunately,
Yes.
because it's heavy. Life is very expensive over there,
Yes.
and we have to lodge most of the team who work with us. So it's fortunate to be an old estate,
Yeah.
very old for California, since it started in 1885. It's written. The founding brothers, they were there in 1880 to build the winery. So
Wow.
that's a long time.
So Cathiard Vineyard has a wine club program, or how?
Yes, I don't know how my niece calls them because she said it's membership. I don't know. She's very good.
Okay.
And we will be giving a reception for a dear member in 26th of October.
Oh.
And I bring my French governess. So
Very nice.
It will be definitely American, but with a little taste of Frenchy.
Yes. And I love the experience that you have here at Château Smith Haut Lafitte, because across the street you also have the Sources de Cololis, and so it's an immersive wine country experience.
Yes, that belongs to our son-in-law
Yes.
and daughter, and we pay our meals, we buy our wines. We have a big borderline because
Yes.
I understand in my family everybody has the entrepreneurial spirit.
Very nice.
But the son-in-law, they are alpha male, they want to have
Yes.
their little, and our daughters the same. So it's, but we love each other,
Yeah.
and so we have cross fertilization. We need to develop this still more,
Yes.
and we have to wait for one of the 5 grandchildren to come with us.
Yes.
Because it would be too sad to have made all this effort and all this great wine for just one generation.
Wow. Do you have a favorite Cololis product?
Yes, I put, because my daughter says she can more or less stabilize me, not give me back eternal youth, which is sad. And I use a lot her serum for taking away the spots. But I always forgot to put on my hands, so my hands are bad. But for my advanced age, she has improved. Yeah.
Yes,
I must put, I put also Premier Cru, of course. Yeah.
Yes, I'm a fan of Cololis.
Oh,
yes,
you're
very
right.
Nice.
And I am very proud of our daughters, but sometimes the beautiful lady like you, they know better Caudalie, which is a little more than 25 or 6 years, than my 658 years Château Smith Haut Lafitte.
Yes. Oh. I'm curious to know, as a prominent woman in the wine industry, what advice do you have for people that are interested in entering the wine industry, just starting out? What are some things to just be aware of and know?
You have more and more young ladies now, which is very good, because I think we are better with the nose. It's our DNA, and it's a good half of the business. And the men are better with muscular mass, because they have more, and so it's a good combination. But I am, how can I say, I like young women coming to wine business, but I think they have to legitimate themselves through their performance, because it's in my time it was first it was more difficult, but when you managed to be good, it was more interesting, because they were surprised. So I think now it's the same thing.
Yes.
The the young ladies, they move the barrels, they can make vinification. We have a young lady in charge with head winemaker and general manager of Cathiard vineyard. And she's agronomical engineer and enologist, and she's very good, Justine, yes. So. And I think it's an open market now.
Yes.
You have just to be very good, because you have a lot of competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you could share a bottle of wine with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Definitely with a French philosopher who loved our wine. He passed away, I think 2 years and a half ago. His name was Michel Serres. He was also a professor at Stanford or Berkeley, I don't remember, but he was always traveling, and he loved being like us, one foot in each state.
Nice.
And he was from here. So when you spoke with him, he would put you more bright. Not when you read him, because he has written so many books and they are difficult. But when he spoke, after 1 hour, you say, well, I see things clearer. And he loved our wine. So I should like also to drink again with an American banker who was crazy about wine, and he made me cry because after we drank all the 47, you know, the famous 47, and after Romanée Conti, also Montrachet, which keeps me modest, which is difficult, and then we had also Cheval Blanc, and these wines are sometimes a little oldish, but so charming, charming. And it gives you humility, because time is also a marker for great wine. Exactly.
What 3 words come to mind when you think of Château Smith Haut Lafitte?
Definitely harmony, density, and purity.
Yes.
And I should like to add length and energy.
Very nice.
So that's 5 words.
This wine that we had today, I love it. It's very elegant and powerful at the same time.
Yes.
Just like you.
Oh.
Yes. So cheers to you.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And remember, the first visit at Smith Haut Lafitte is never the last.
Yes. Cheers to that.
Merci.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Parfait.